Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new model from MJX RC. This is the Bugs 3, and as far as I know, this is probably their first brushless large quadcopter edition. So it's nothing else than a very small video platform. Be aware, no GPS here, no altitude hold or assisted flight modes. It's just a basic, much more powerful thanks to the brushless motor quadcopter able to carry a GoPro. And with the basic edition, you still have a GoPro mount, no action cam provided with. You have to give yours, but you have this black camera mount where you can install most of the modern HD action cam. So the specifications are 1806 motors spinning at 1800 kV. You have some independent ESC, as we will see, and a nice feature, you have a two-way communication radio protocol, so indicating by telemetry the low voltage alarm, as well when the RSSI of the radio transmission is weak, so when you are close to the out of range. So it means that the new radio protocol is no more compatible with the former MJX products, no more compatible with the X600 and 800. I think it's based on the RF chip A700-105. It's still under investigation, and this model is able to have extra upgradable parts. You have an HD camera, but I think not as good as the real GoPro. You have a panoramic 360 degrees panoramic camera. It could be interesting if you want to target the ground, for example. A small FPV combo, probably with standalone battery, and some basic FPV monitors, 5-inch, 4.3-inch, very basic 7-inch model, and even some goggles. So let's discover a little bit the contents of this box. Okay, here is a quadcopter. Already installed the props. Okay, some, if I'm not wrong, some close to 7-inch or 8-inch model on the 1806 motor, brushless motors. They're self-tightening, that's pretty good, and you have also a bag with a four spare one. That's great. All are blacks. Maybe would have been preferable to have at least some white on front to be more useful to fly it in lost light of sight condition. At least you have a big white LEDs on front to keep your orientation. That's a pretty good point, you will see in a few instances. So I already attach the landing gears, but if you don't plan to install a GoPro camera, you can remove them, saving more than 25 grams, and this monopod will be used as a landing gear, so you can save some weight and increase your flying time like this. On the bottom side you can find the battery bay, and here this is the extra camera mount band. Okay, like this, you have two clips on it. Okay, so it's good. It's up to you. So you can insert the provided battery in any position. Okay, from this side or this side is not really important. So here you can find the 2.4 GHz linear antenna attached horizontally, so it's not very good for the horizontal range, because as you may know, in this axis or in front you will have the radius propagation antenna diagram is weaker on this main axis like this. So it means that if you are flying with a radio transmitter in this line like this, the antenna will receive less signal in this position. So if you want to extend more your flight in the horizontal way, please install the antenna more vertically. It's just the basic mode to do. Everything is in plastic. Okay, so landing gear I don't think will resist very much to a strong crash, hard landing. Okay, they will probably break in the middle. They are not filled to save some weight, so with the plastic more or less flexible. You have some lights, big white on front and blue on rear. That's pretty good for night flying, you will see in a few instants. So a lot of light with this quadcopter. Everything is in plastic, okay, so the arms are more or less flexible, but the plastic quality is great. And on top you can find 4 screws to access to all the internal electronic parts. That's pretty good for maintenance. So I would say that all this plastic is to save some weight, and for example this with the battery install, okay, the prop install, the machine weights can give you some information. Okay, if I'm able to find more or less, so it's close to 442 grams more or less, and if you had the camera mount you are reaching close to 470 grams. So if you had this camera GoPro, you will reach close to little bit more than 550 grams. So little bit heavy in my point of view for a 2S system, because the battery provided is not a 3S, it's a 1800 milliamps hours, but a 2S system handling with an XT30 connector. Okay, so I will give you the indication of the battery compartment. So you have a plastic casing, okay, so you can probably insert inside, you can really easily remove these 1, 2, 3, 4 screws to insert your own LiPo, but the battery compartment is 118 or 19 by close to 40 by 200. Okay, so if you can find some compatible 2S LiPo, no problem, but be aware you have to hand with an XT30 connector or insert a JST to XT30 connector. You have the balancer plug, no problem. So this type of connector will become more and more popular in my point of view, and will probably replace the JST connector because it can handle much more current, okay, and much more compatible with brushless quadcopter, consuming more current instantaneously. The camera GoPro mount is basic, so you have to unclips like this at the top to free the camera, okay, and is compatible in size with most of camera and GoPro, SG cam for example. So for example, I've got a Firefly 6S is working, but even if there are some little play inside, so insert a piece of foam to completely J-lock. And another option, if your trigger camera button is installed on stop, you will first to start recording, insert the camera and lock the system. Could be a little bit drawback, but nothing really serious. So you're locking the system like this, and now insert by sliding the plastic pads like this, okay. I found that it's a little bit tricky to release the stuff. You have really to press very low the this plastic tab, okay, and then gently pull, okay, like this. You're ready to press on the plastic tab to release it. Oops, sorry. So be aware. As you can see, could be a little bit tricky, but don't press too much to not break this plastic part. So to remove, maybe it could be a little bit more flexible. Let's have a look when the battery is inserted. So for example, in this position, you can see that the battery is blocked and no power switch button. Maybe it's a drawback, but to insert, you just need to insert the XT60 connector, and you have the music of ESC, okay. And as promised, there is a very bright white LEDs on front, flashing white LEDs for the first second front, but as soon as you are arming the quadcopter, you will see that the blue LEDs will be turned on. Okay, so I won't arm with a prop install, so I will remove the battery and show that it's pretty easy to remove the props. They have safe tightening. Okay, motors got 5mm shaft section. Their props are pretty standard. Probably need to be balanced to offer gel-free making videos, but it's like this, so safe tightening. Okay, and I will show that the internal part of this machine, the setup is rather clean. You will see with independent ASC. The antenna 2.4 antenna shielding is well done, so no big problem in the electronics. That's great, and I will show after removing the antenna that how to harm the machine. So we reinsert the battery like this, reinsert the connector, and I noticed that to bind and to bind the machine, you have first to turn on the radio transmitter with a big white green LEDs, then to turn the quadcopter. Okay, and you can hear a beep when the binding is done. So to turn on the machine, now I can do it inside because the prop are removed. You have to press this button, and after you have the motor spinning with the blue LEDs coming. That's great. And to disarm, you have to long press the red button. Okay, so if the first time the radio transmitter is not bound with the quadcopter, it's pretty easy to redo the binding procedure. Okay, how to proceed? You have to press this button, keep it pressed while turning the transmitter. You hear 2 beep and the green light is flashing. It means that it's time to enter into the binding, automatic binding. Now turn on the quadcopter and the binding is done one more time. It's no problem. You can resume and rearm like this. So you have this, if I'm not wrong, you have this button to select the speed mode, only 2 speed mode, and this button to perform a 360 flips, okay, and other are, I can't remember, wall, maybe to engage the headless mode or so on, but in fact there is no altitude hold, and I think it's a good thing. Okay, sometime to play with FPV with such machines, the altitude hold can be problematic because the altitude can vary a lot of while moving forward with such features. So personally, I'm not a great fan of such assistance, but it's okay maybe for ultra beginners. But if you are planning to buying such quadcopter, you need a nominal level. Okay, in quadcopter skill, because it's not for ultra beginners in my point of view. You have brushless motors, it can be powerful even if the machine is quite bit docile. So to resume, I will now show the internal part of the machine. It's pretty easy, just need to remove this 4 screws here. Okay, 1, 2, okay, 3, okay, and the last one. It's super easy for the maintenance. Okay, just remove the top cover and you can access to all the electronics. So it's confirmed you have some independent ESC, some wires to connect to all LEDs, a big capacity to filter out the 2 S sources, and here you have the radio transmitter module, receiver module. It's remind me a little bit an A7105 RF chip. Okay, so this is probably maybe a derivation of the radio protocol. It could be a little bit similar to any FlySky. I'm not sure of it, but it's based on this same RF chip in my point of view. I'm not completely sure. Probably some SPI data will be captured to see if this radio protocol could be hacked for derivation TX. Should be, in theory, if it's an A7105 RF chip. But as you can see, the board and electronic is pretty well done. You have the hot glue here protecting everything. The 2.4 GHz is here is well protected and installed. Okay, no problem. And to do the brushless antenna, brushless motor maintenance, you have to remove this 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, the landing gears of course, and you can directly remove the brushless motors. Okay, but at least ESC are well independent, so it's good for maintenance. Okay, so now I will perform some flight demo, and one word about the main motherboard. No USB plug to, for example, to plug it into a ground station software. Unfortunately, the average chip is given, but I try to focus more on the other chips. You have the main home core here, and probably the 6-axis stabilization here. Okay, but the electronic is clean. Okay, so now let's have a look to this behavior and in flight. So I will probably start without the camera mount, and after check how is handling this extra weight, because you have to know that the total weight with everything installed is more than 550 grams, so a little bit heavy, but let's check that. Welcome to the demo flight of the new MJX Bugs 3. So as you can see, I already installed the Firefly C6, which is nothing else than a GoPro clone, about to shoot in 1080p 60 frames per second, and I will first fly with this camera installed and to measure how is impacting this 70 gram plus the camera mount is around 15 plus the landing gear, so 100 grams extra gram versus the ultralight version with just this landing gears. So with 2S motors 1806, it will probably impact in terms of flying characteristics and fly autonomy for sure, but I will start to fly with. When you disassemble the machine, good news, you have an FPV socket, so probably there will be the version where the FPV socket will be more visible. Maybe here you have a piece of plastic here, so probably the FPV connector will be here. That's great, so it will be available soon. So you have a 1800 2S mAh LiPo battery ending with the EST30 connector. Okay, let's go for takeoff. I install these sticks. You have to screw them, okay, to fly. And as you can see, the throttle stick is not centered. That means that there is no altitude hold, such kind of assistance flight, okay, for pilot. Personally, I prefer to not have. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I will power the quadcopter. So no power switch. You have to directly insert the battery connector, the EST30. Okay, and then I will try to install some flat surface, then turn on the radio. In fact, it's better to turn first the transmitter with this model. So turn on the transmitter. Okay, reinsert the connector, and you can hear the beep of the radio. It means it's bound. Okay, and I will unfortunately my Firefly don't have the trigger button installed on the front panel, so I have to detach it. And look that I also installed a piece of foam to completely secure and remove some small free play inside. So I will turn on the camera, okay, and start recording. Luckily I've got the triggering indication installed. Okay, so like this, I hope it will be okay. One hand like this, and I hope it will be okay. Yes, it's still triggering. Great, I will be able to shoot now. So to take off, you have to press this button, and it's arm. Let's go. Okay, so in terms of button, you have this button here, the white on the left, which is the speed mode, and let's see how it's handling. First of all, I really like how the lights are visible. Oh, even in beginner rate. Wow, it's flying beautifully. Great. And good news, as I say, this machine got kind of 2 telemetry information, so making the transmitter beeping. You will have, as soon as the battery reaches a nominal lower voltage, you will have a voltage alarm and your transmitter will ring thanks to this two-way protocol. Okay, oh, there is a dog. Okay. Okay. And if you are going too far, you have also a radio link alarm, okay, associated with. So in altitude, I should have some wind. Okay, today is windy, but it's flying beautifully. So the wind comes from to the right. Okay, so I will decrease altitude now. I will try to be aware to the dogs. Flying beautifully, and it's a very silent quadcopter. Really appreciate it. So to be now engage more the sporty one. Flying very beautifully. Okay. I will try to be very fast. But wow, the dog is celebrating me. Hello. Okay. In fact, the 3 dogs are here. There are a lot of sheep around. Maybe if I take altitude, you will see them on the background. And these 3 dogs are associated with the sheep keeper. You can see them. They are yelling. I can hear, even if they are quite far, I can hear them. So they're pretty nice. So really I like this machine. It's feeling very beautifully. The rays are very well adjusted, and it's a fast machine. The light is very visible, so a pretty good machine. It's relatively silent. Yeah, no problem to carry this FPV or this GoPro. So you should shoot some stable videos. I will land now and fly without. I hope the dogs won't. Wait. Yes. Okay, the dogs want to catch the quadcopter. No. Up. So you have to long press this red button to turn up button. Okay, great. First test with the by carrying the GoPro is very convincing. I really appreciate very good machine, the rate, and it's still sporty despite carrying close to 100 extra grams. So now let's detach the camera mount and fly completely in sporty mode. Okay, so let's resume. So first turn on the transmitter, reattach the battery connector. Okay, like this, the XT30, you can hear this beep indicating that the bound is completely done. And let's press the top left red button. Let's go. Okay, so now I'm more in pure wow. Oh my god, for 2S it's already in beginner rate, it's already super fast. Look at that. Wow, beautifully. Oh, we can perfume flip. There is a flip button. Wow, amazing for brushless. So let's go there. You have the 360 flips, is this top right button. Oh, fun. And you can perfume flips while moving forward. Yes, it's possible. Let's go in hyper sporty mode now. It's super fast, look at that. You can hear a beep. Voltage alarm. Okay. So as you can see why and it's linked with the LEDs on front blinking, so great. Oh, and the rear too. So you can hear this transmitter blinking. That's great. It's good to have such information. Okay, I won't abuse of the to fly it, but it's wow. I like how this machine is flying. Super great. Look, the yaw rate, perfect. Really, the rates are very well calibrated. It's super machine. You cannot perform flips when the alarm is ringing. Okay, so I won't abuse, I won't damage the battery. I will land, and but really I like this machine. Okay, and no problem, you have to disarm by pressing the top left button, a long press, and it's stopping. Great, really a good machine. You can hear the transmitter beeping. That's super great. I didn't have any problem about the range, so I think the radio protocol is based on the RF chip A7105, so working like 500 kilobits as data rate, should offer very good range, at least much superior to 100 meters, 200 meters without problem. And you should have such a kind of beeping alarm when you reach a lower RSSI, so close to the out of range limit. That's pretty good. So definitively this machine can carry a GoPro without problem, but the flight duration is reduced to something like 7 minutes. Okay, without you should expect 12 minutes, maybe between 10 to 12. That's great. Even if it's a 2S based, this machine is fly pretty well, and I really enjoy the rates. It's very well calibrated. It's a lot of fun. So it's not for absolute beginners, but from intermediate pilot, I think this machine is very convenient. Really, I like the lights, very visible. I like the white front LEDs to keep your orientation in lost condition. It's quite light in this, and don't forget you can save 20 grams more if you remove the landing gears, and you can, for example, install a Mobius Mini on bottom, so you should have the both advantage, light machine as well to filming 1080p with a Mobius Mini, for example. That's great. So definitively recommend this machine, and impressed, and I hope the radio protocol will be soon deviated to fly with your favorite Deviation TX compatible radio. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please submit. See you next time. Bye bye.